A little bit about my background is interesting because I grew up in a small town of Tracy, and I remember rap music was real popular at the time, but it was only like New York or LA, and I never thought that I would be able to do that, but it interested me so much. I loved rap music so much, and then when I heard Too Short, who was out of Oakland, I said, that's not that far away from Tracy. So I decided I wanted to be a rapper, and I started writing raps, and for a whole year, I was embarrassed to show my friends. And then finally, when I did show them, they still laughed at me, but I chose to keep going and going and going, and ended up creating a rap career for myself that became very successful. But as far as that, the problem was that I also used my raps to tell stories of what I was really going through. And back then, during the late 80s and 90s, every city felt like it was just infested with gangs. And because of that, it pulled me in too. So I started rapping about the things I was living, and I became a gang member and eventually a drug dealer in Tracy. And that led to a life of crime that eventually ended with a 8-year prison sentence in federal prison. Parents. And by the time I actually hit a prison yard, which was in Terminal Island in Long Beach, after being there maybe 3 months, by this time I was already in maybe 2.5 years, I started preaching in the prison yard. And that's where I started to preach. And I knew that it was my calling, which I preached throughout my whole rest of my sentence, from 2004 to 2010. And I started House of Rest Church 2011, a year after that. I think the main thing I want to share is that there is hope. So many people are written off. So many people have written themselves off. They feel like, well, I'm an ex-con, or I'm a this, or I'm an ex-that, or even if it's not a life of crime, people think like this is the life that this is the hand I've been dealt, so I just got to live it out. And I always want to share that I am living proof that God can change a person, a man or a woman, that we can change and really have a successful life, a prosperous life, and it doesn't have to be the way it always was.